Imagine this. You've just pitched your best offer, and the client says, "I'm not interested." Ouch. It stings, right? But here's the shocking truth. 48% of salespeople never follow up after a rejection. And guess what? 80% of sales are made after the 5th follow-up. So, that "no" you just heard might not be the end, it could actually be the beginning. In this video, we're going to show you how to turn "I'm not interested" into an opportunity. We'll dive into powerful strategies that top entrepreneurs use to break through rejection, stay persistent, and build lasting relationships with clients. You'll learn why "no" isn't always a dead end and how you can shift your approach to bring clients back to the table. Stick with us, because the next time you hear "I'm not interested," you'll know exactly what to say to turn it into a yes. Ready to master the art of handling rejection? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The power of silence, when not interested, is actually a green light in the world of entrepreneurship. Rejection often feels personal, but it doesn't have to be. When a client says, "I'm not interested," it could be the universe's way of giving you a chance to reframe the conversation. Silence, especially when met with resistance, is a powerful tool. It allows you to pause and consider what the client is really saying. Often, it's not about the product or service, it's about timing, needs, or internal circumstances. Studies show that 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups to close, but most entrepreneurs give up after the first one. So, if a client says, "I'm not interested," it's not a flat no. It's an invitation to dig deeper. According to the Challenger Sale by Matthew Dixon and Brent Adamson, the most successful salespeople challenge the status quo rather than push harder. They use silence to spark curiosity, allowing the client to rethink their stance. Don't let the word "no" stop you. Take a moment to listen carefully. What's behind that "not interested"? Are there unstated fears or misconceptions? Sometimes clients need more time to make a decision, or they simply need a nudge in the right direction. Instead of responding immediately, let the silence do its work. It can prompt them to open up about their true objections. Interestingly, in the Harvard Business Review, a study found that many clients will change their mind if given the space to reconsider. The key is not to rush into another pitch but to patiently wait for the client's next words. In fact, showing that you're willing to let them walk away can make them more likely to stay engaged. Remember, silence doesn't mean giving up. It's the art of waiting for the client to decide that they're ready to talk more. Mastering this art means understanding when to speak and when to listen. Chapter 2. Reframing rejection, turning "not interested" into "let's talk more." Rejection isn't always as bad as it seems. In fact, many entrepreneurs have used it as a stepping stone to success. When a client says, "I'm not interested," it's often a sign that you've hit a mental block, not the end of the road. Successful entrepreneurs know how to reframe rejection, turning it into an opportunity for more engagement. The first step is to remain calm and curious. Instead of getting defensive, respond with a follow-up question. Ask, "Can you share more about what's making you feel that way?" This simple shift opens the door to a deeper conversation and shows the client you value their opinion. It also provides an opportunity to clarify their needs and adjust your approach. In a 2021 report by Salesforce, 69% of sales professionals said their most successful tactic was simply asking questions and listening. Understanding what the client truly wants can help you tailor your pitch, moving from "not interested" to "let's talk more." Ask questions that prompt them to reflect on their pain points, not just your product's benefits. Instead of pushing harder, try offering something of value that changes the conversation. Share an article, offer a free consultation, or invite them to a webinar. This positions you as a helpful partner rather than a salesperson. It builds trust, which is essential for turning rejection into a yes later on. It's also important to remember that timing plays a huge role. As The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy explains, the most effective salespeople know that the first no is often a sign of hesitation, not a definitive rejection. When you reframe the conversation, you might discover that the client simply isn't ready yet, but your offer might be exactly what they need in the future. The key takeaway here is that rejection is just a detour, not the end of the road. By staying patient, offering value, and asking the right questions, you can turn an initial no into an ongoing dialogue that may eventually lead to a positive outcome. Chapter 3. From not interested to let's do this, the art of persuasion without pressure. The best entrepreneurs know that persuasion isn't about pressure, it's about connection. If someone says, I'm not interested, it's an opportunity to showcase the value of your offer without coming across as pushy. People often resist being sold to, but they're open to being inspired. One of the best ways to shift a client's mindset is by telling a relatable story. As Daniel Pink argues in To Sell is Human, storytelling is one of the most powerful tools for persuasion. When you share stories of how your product or service has helped others in similar situations, you build a bridge between their problems and your solutions. A personal or client success story can transform not interested into genuine curiosity. Another technique to increase persuasion without pressure is to highlight your product's unique selling points. What makes your offer different from the competition? Instead of focusing on what your client is missing, emphasize how your solution aligns with their goals. In fact, a report from McKinsey found that 62% of clients prefer to work with businesses that clearly differentiate themselves. Instead of pushing for an immediate decision, focus on creating a sense of urgency through value. Offer a limited time discount or exclusive content that gives them an incentive to act. However, avoid overdoing it. Influence. The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini points out that too much urgency can make clients feel pressured, which often leads to them backing off. There's also something to be said about humor. People remember those who can make them smile. By adding lightness to a conversation, you can reduce the client's defensiveness and create a positive atmosphere. Humor breaks barriers, and in some cases, it might be the difference between a not interested and let's do this. In a study published by the Journal of Consumer Research, it was found that customers are 35% more likely to purchase when they perceive the salesperson as authentic and relatable. So, instead of using hard sell tactics, focus on building rapport. When people feel comfortable with you, they're more likely to trust your judgment. Ultimately, persuasion without pressure is about making your client feel understood and respected. By using storytelling, creating urgency with value, and adding a bit of humor, you can turn a no into a yes. You don't need to chase them, you need to help them see the potential in what you're offering. Don't forget to subscribe for more strategies on turning rejections into opportunities. Hit that subscribe button now, so you never miss a new tip that could boost your business. Chapter 4. The Reverse Psychology Hustle, Not Interested. Watch me change your mind. Reverse psychology can be a powerful tool when faced with rejection. When a client says, I'm not interested, it's easy to feel discouraged. But what if you flip the script? Instead of pushing harder, try using subtle tactics to spark curiosity. People, by nature, tend to be drawn to things they can't have. By demonstrating that your offer is valuable but not essential to their success, you might just get their attention. This isn't about tricking clients, it's about creating a sense of urgency and desire. The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene explains that creating space between you and the client can actually make them more interested. If they sense that you're not desperate for the sale, they might reconsider. It's all about making them feel like they're the ones in control of the decision. The idea of not selling can be incredibly persuasive. Research by Cialdini in Influence shows that when people feel pressured, they resist. By giving them the illusion of autonomy, you tap into their psychological need for control. Rather than pushing them to buy, simply present the facts and let them make the decision on their own terms. If your product or service is truly valuable, you shouldn't have to force the sale. Subtly tell them that your offer might not be the right fit at this time. It's a bold move, but it can make clients question their initial, not interested, response. When done strategically, reverse psychology can leave them wanting more. This tactic works best when you've built rapport with the client. If they trust you, they'll be more likely to reconsider their stance. As a salesperson, it's important to know when to step back and let the client come to you. This gives them the space to make their own decision, making the eventual yes feel much more rewarding. By using reverse psychology, you're not forcing anything, you're allowing the client to make the choice in their own time. You're simply planting the seed and allowing it to grow. Chapter 5. The client's truth, not interested, means not yet ready. Here's how to nurture when a client says they're not interested, it doesn't always mean they'll never be interested. It often means they're just not ready. People make decisions based on timing, need, and budget. According to a study by HubSpot, 75% of leads don't convert until after the fifth follow-up. So, rather than seeing "not interested" as a dead end, view it as a signal to nurture the relationship over time. The key is persistence. But it's not about bombarding them with constant emails or calls. Instead, it's about delivering value in a way that helps the client see how your product or service fits into their future needs. Share helpful content, like blog posts, videos, or free resources, that align with their interests. One study by the Salesforce Research Group found that 64% of B2B buyers say they want to be contacted with relevant content even before they're ready to make a decision. If you can position yourself as a valuable resource, rather than just a vendor, clients are more likely to turn to you when they're ready. Another strategy is segmentation. Understand where your client is in their journey, and adjust your communications accordingly. For example, if they're not yet in a place to buy, provide them with educational content that helps them solve problems or plan for the future. According to Predictable Revenue by Aaron Ross, understanding the stages of your client's decision-making process can help you tailor your approach for maximum effectiveness. Instead of being discouraged by a "not interested" response, focus on the long game. Keep nurturing the relationship with patience and a focus on providing value. This strategy will help build trust and position you as a go-to expert when they're ready to make a purchase. Eventually, you'll find that many "not interested" responses evolve into "I'm ready now" conversations. It's about planting seeds and giving them time to grow, turning a cold lead into a loyal client down the line. Chapter 6. Turning "no" into "yes." The secret of timing and persistence. When faced with a rejection, most entrepreneurs feel like the deal is over. But successful entrepreneurs know that timing and persistence can turn a "no" into a "yes." The secret lies in understanding that timing is everything. Clients may say "no" today but might be more open to saying "yes" tomorrow, next month, or even next year. In fact, statistics from the National Sales Executive Association show that 80% of sales happen after the fifth follow-up. Most entrepreneurs stop after just 1 or 2 attempts, missing out on potential sales. The most successful businesspeople know how to be persistent without being pushy. They focus on long-term relationships, not just short-term wins. One of the most important factors is understanding your client's buying cycle. People make decisions at their own pace, and your job is to stay relevant and available. A 2023 study by McKinsey showed that 70% of customers make purchasing decisions when they feel confident about their choice. Your job is to build that confidence over time. Timing isn't just about persistence, it's about knowing when to reach out. According to the Challenger Sale, the best salespeople know how to use their knowledge of the client's needs and pain points to time their approach. Rather than constantly pushing for a decision, they wait for the right moment when the client is more likely to be receptive. Persistence also involves staying top of mind without overwhelming the client. This can be done by sending occasional updates, checking in with new solutions, or simply offering valuable insights that keep the client engaged. Clients are more likely to return to you when they feel that you've been consistently providing value. The goal is to develop a relationship where the client trusts you and sees you as a solution to their problems. That takes time, patience, and the ability to read between the lines. With the right balance of timing and persistence, you can transform "no" into "yes." Ultimately, understanding that rejection is a temporary roadblock, not the end of the journey, is key to entrepreneurial success. By being patient, persistent, and focused on the long-term relationship, you can turn even the most resistant clients into loyal customers. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more game-changing strategies and tips to grow your business. Hit that bell icon to stay updated with all the latest advice you won't want to miss.